What's up, internet world? This is Linus, and this is my first attempt at one of these, voice-centered messages that isn't just cards being pulled. But I kind of got called to do this the other day after I went to sleep. I woke up from a dream, and I had a thought that I had to put to paper, something I was called to speak on. And the message is, are you retreating with talent, or are you pushing forward with works backed by faith? Let me repeat that question. Are you retreating with talent, or are you pushing forward with works backed by faith? And that was kind of like the main thing that I remember from that particular dream that I had. And when I put it into my little digital notebook memo that I've got, it was 619, which is an angel number that I've been seeing a lot recently. So I don't know if any of you guys have been seeing 619 or 916 as angel numbers recently, but I did that 3 days before September 7th, which was a secret 777 day. I'll link that video in somewhere. But getting on to the message. And I had to think about this for a little bit because I'm sitting there, I'm like, what does that mean? Like, what does that mean? And I thought that a lot of people have talent. Of course, we are no strangers to the conversation that hard work outpaces talent every time. And I think this was just an octave of that message. There are a lot of people that have talents that either they aren't using to their fullest capacity or their fullest capabilities, or up until recently, in my case, haven't been using at all. And I know that life can kind of get in the way of certain things sometimes, but I think that's what makes tapping into your talents all the more important. Especially the way society is going now. And I can't speak for everybody, but if you live in the US, then you kind of know where I'm coming from when I say that. But a lot of people think that when they start something, when they do something, that talent is what's going to take them. But there are millions of videos on the internet talking about how it's the discipline and the hard work that really pushes you forward. But I think when it comes to people that live a certain kind of lifestyle, they have a certain kind of faith with who they worship, right? Like speaking on the likes of universe, multiverse, omniverse, source, God, creator, source. I said source twice, but whatever. That sometimes you can be working hard, you can be exercising strong discipline in the wrong direction. And a lot of people don't speak on how that's an extra layer for those that feel chosen or called to something. Is that anybody can work hard and anybody can build up to that discipline. Not everybody gets there, but anybody can at least start that journey. But even when you get to a good discipline, or you get to a level where you're putting work in consistently every day, it doesn't mean that your works are backed by faith. It could just be that you're just doing this because you think it'll make you better, or because you think it's what's required of you within the system that you're currently in. But a lot of the times, doing works backed by faith are doing things that everything in your three-dimensional space is telling you is wrong, is not the right way to go. You've got energies, it's almost like the energies come out of their way to tell you what you're doing, you're going in the wrong direction. How do you know? You don't even know. But at the same time, it's not their fault. People only go with what they see. Energies can only go off what they see. Very few can actually look at you and know. There's very few people that have that that gift, that they can see everything of a person when they look at them. Not that that's relevant within this conversation, but some people just know. And those people can serve as guides and whatnot, but that's not the purpose of this. A lot of the times, works backed by faith will look as if you're going the wrong direction to a lot of people in your circle, or a lot of people that you know, if not all. We all get blessed, and we maybe have one or two people that are in our corner, in our circle, that understand the mission. And even if they don't understand the mission, they still support you in it. But a majority of people, they really aren't that kind of person. They aren't those kinds of people. So the trick is your mindset, your mentality. What goes into you keeping the momentum, so to speak, and what is it that goes into keeping you moving in aligned action, keeping you doing works backed by this faith, so to speak. And a lot of the times, it's just how well you can master yourself, your own mind. The demons really don't come up that much throughout the course of the journey. They usually come up heavy in the beginning, maybe a little bit at the halfway point to make you look back and turn back if possible. And if you don't turn back, obviously they can get kind of loud through after that point. But then there's a certain point where they stop because they know it's not going to work. And then it's quiet. And then that's when your mind goes into that, it's too quiet. It's too quiet. I'm not hearing boss battle music. It's too quiet. Something's about to pop off. And that's also part of the tactics, because we're all trained in this society to believe that when our mind is not complaining, we're doing something wrong. And in that event, our minds can play the roles of the same energies that would antagonize us when we're on board with ourselves, when we're completely balanced. And the biggest thing is we got to make sure that we keep our composure, we keep our wits about us, we keep our minds in check. Whenever the critic, as they call it, pulls up and says, "Look at you, ain't you a sorry sack of shit trying to do useless work in a world that won't let you make it past a certain point?" It is your responsibility to look at that and be like, "Oh, look who decided to feel threatened enough to open their face." Or, I mean, that's how I deal with it sometimes. But being polite to that part of you, because the thing is no matter what we're taught in the spiritual community about those parts of us, the self-doubt parts, those usually are the parts that are just trying to protect you, the parts that were cultivated through survival. And they often can't tell the difference between what is a situation that is a threat to your survival and what is a situation that endangers you for the purpose of growth. So oftentimes that voice will come out. But it's important that we check ourselves. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. No, it's important that we check ourselves in that capacity. Like, hey, just have a little faith. Because sometimes that's really all you should ask of those parts of yourself. Just have a little bit of faith. And if not, let them say what they need to say. And by them, I mean you, your inner thoughts. Let your inner doubtfulness burn itself out. And then when it has nothing else to say, take all of that and throw it away. And then actively within your mind, purposefully, deliberately, say things that completely refute anything that they might have said. Yes, this is a hard journey and it's almost impossible, but that's because I'm possible and I was anointed to do this and I was chosen to do this. And not only was I chosen to do this, I chose myself to continue down this path, and I will continue choosing myself. And I think that's one of the most important things. is to continue choosing yourself.